What is up, Mr. Mayhem? Slime Pack, what's up? Truck Trader Sam. Willie Fistbutt, what's up? Mike Chapman, what's going on? Man, let me tell you. Just got me out here hanging around, man. So I delivered a load. Well, first of all, I'm at this Sap Brothers in York, Pennsylvania. I was just stopping by the Blue Beacon at that Petro across the street, and somebody on the CB shouted me out. So if you happen to be on here, what's up? I just couldn't stay at that truck stop. Too many potholes, too many hazards. It's like a battlefield over there. So I came over here to this Sap Brothers, and looks like a nice location. Never stayed here before. Georgia Trucker. We'll get into this stuff. So anyway, Tim Travels, what's up? Slime Pack's in the area. Hey, if you want to boost your channel, man, come on over. I'll give you a little boost, man. We can do a video together. Just joking. York, Nebraska. York, Nebraska. So I delivered at this Smithfield in Crete yesterday, Crete, Nebraska. And it seems like, as always, we don't have any trailers, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, send that message to dispatch. Now, earlier that day, I had said that I would help with this repower. But for some reason, that didn't end up going down. So I went ahead and delivered the load, did my depart thing, said I needed a trailer. But they possibly have loads coming right out of here. So, you know, whatever, just kind of let them know. So, let's see. Hey, Terry, this Sap Brothers isn't that bad over here. Let me get to these comments real quick. Slime Pack headed to Denver. That's where the load was going that I was supposed to be repowering. They were like in Wisconsin, but they weren't going to make it down to where I was going to be. All right, let's see. Hey, Lyle, you ever gave your truck in the shop and the technician turns off your APU and doesn't turn it back on while they park it back outside? Every single time. I don't even make them go through that anymore. I just turn off my APU and just do that. So normally I'm not in a position where, usually that's when I'm at home, so my refrigerator is going to get cleaned out. Normally it's almost empty at that point anyway, but every single time they do that. All right, Jeremy Griggs, what's up? Willie, I'm stuck in Vicksburg, Mississippi, waiting for Tyson. I hear you. So anyway, I deliver the load, and I'm like, hey, man, can I just get a pre-plan just so I can plan my time, all this kind of stuff? So I get a load picking up on Monday. That was the first problem, which might end up being the situation anyway, right? Picking up Monday from the same place I dropped off at, but it was going to Williams. Now, I've delivered to this place before, and that is a service failure waiting to happen. If you're not familiar with that place, let me make sure I'm saying it's the right. It was supposed to be going to Wilmington, California. So think about south of Compton, south of Carson, and west of Long Beach, right up against, it's kind of in that port area, backs up, or it's right next to a neighborhood, right next to train tracks. The problem is, it's a small place. You can only get there a certain amount of time beforehand. And the last time I went there, they were like, well, you can't be here more than, I forget what the time was. It was like, been like 2 years. So me and my trainee at the time ended up driving around just to burn off some time. And there's nowhere to go out there. And the closest reasonable parking is in Ontario, California. And you try to plan going down there with an hour window. So I turned that down. So this morning I pulled Okie Doke. You know, they had a couple prime trailers there. They told me that they weren't going to have any prime trailers empty. So I just told them, hey, they're asking me to pick up this trailer number. Is that all right? And they're like, yeah, it's not getting loaded, so you should be able to go ahead and take that one. So I took that trailer and I just told them, hey, I got this trailer. Here's the number. Attach me to it. I'm going to get a washout and I'm ready. So we'll see. Train tracks down there by Wilmington, California. Gilbert, what's up? D's, good morning from Florida. I would not mind being in Florida right now. Truck Trader Sam, I was just in Denver. They asked me to deadhead to Kimberly, Idaho. Let me know your ETA. Listen, at this point, with these long deadheads, and I haven't seen that many deadheads, lately, but I at least got to have a load on me, at least something, because now you're just deadheading on faith alone. And I'll do that potentially, but that's a long time. And it's not like it's not windy across 80. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping to get a load because I'm like 50 miles away, and I'm about to send that message now. I'm about 50 miles away from Grand Island, Nebraska. So Grand Island. All right. So anyway, yeah, that deadheading across 80, and like it's not like it still doesn't snow out there a little bit across 80. I made one of the dumbest decisions ever about, I don't know if it was last year, it was probably the year before last year. Deadheading. I don't even know what made me even think about doing this shit. Deadheading across I-80 in wintertime empty. No. All right, how many service failures have I gotten? I've never had a service failure. I don't go to California. All right, Georgia Trucker, I don't go to California. It's not good enough profit, and everything costs way too much out there. I hear you. Some of the best money in California, and I don't go out there that much anymore. Not necessarily even because of me, but a lot of money can be made inside of California. Like I remember there was one time when I spent maybe a week just bouncing around in California, and that was some good money out there. Dee's is delivering tomorrow in Sanderson Farms in Georgia. I actually like that place. I mean, there's a couple dumb things about it, but it's not that bad. Dee's been sitting on this load for 2 days. Man, I feel your pain because, like I said, I'm probably not, who knows when I'm going to get another load. I'm about to just tell him, you know what, just make me available on Monday morning when my fleet manager's in. T-News, what's up? How's Landstar going out there, man? I certainly wouldn't mind having a little bit more control over where I go. Trust me on that. But hey, when I was at that Smithfield and Crete, there was a brand new TNT driver, just upgraded, and we were kind of shooting the shit while he was waiting to get loaded because he was parked kind of where I was. And he didn't have any floor mats, so I had these free Peterbilt floor mats, so I gave him those floor mats, and it seemed like it made his day, so that was good. I was glad to help out somebody new coming into this that didn't necessarily want to spend money on floor mats at this time. Yeah, California's got some good money. If you bounce around in there. All right, so you've been home the past month. Hey, I'm about to be home for a good while here in a little bit too. As soon as I'm going to get back to Denver, maybe like that first week of May, and I'm probably going to come out like April, or not April. Damn, what month? Fuck. Okay, it's March. All right. Yeah, so the first week of, yeah, so I'll be back the first week of April. Probably stay out till like maybe May. So anyway, that's the deal. I don't know if anybody's been to that cold Wilmington, California, but that is just, I mean, it's once you get in there, it's all fine, but it's trying to get there on time with all the obstacles you got to deal with. And like, it's right next to a neighborhood, right? So you got that to deal with. So yeah, no, I just didn't want to mess around with it. What's the longest time I ran on recaps? Shit, like 5 months. I mean, there was a break in there when I had to stop at the terminal and get something handled, but I mean, if I'm out for 5 weeks, I will not get a 34 that I want to get. You know, but even back when freight, and I'm not sure if freight is down or if freight is just down with all the mouths that we're feeding lately. But shit, I'd be out for 5 weeks, 6 weeks and not take a recap. All right, T News. His old lady had an accident. I've been home taking care of her. That's a good husband right there, or boyfriend, whatever the relationship is. She has another surgery tomorrow. All right, sorry to hear about that. And here's the thing, as far as the recaps go, we're not running like, we don't end up having to, like, if we were running like super long loads all the time, that would be an issue. But typically, between the planners and dispatchers and whatever, they're going to match a load to fit your hours. So if you only got 4 hours left on your 70, but you're picking up, let's even say like 6 at midnight, they might put you on a 300-mile load or something like that. So they're really good at that. And a lot of times at Prime, I can only speak of, you're better running on recaps sometimes, depending on the area you're in. Like, I'm not going to want to be running on low recaps in like the Northeast. But if I'm like in the Midwest or something like that, that's the best place to be low on hours. Trucking life with my Filipino wife. All right. Thanks for stopping by. But that's what's going on out here. So I have no idea what's going on. I got a clean trailer. I'm ready to go. But yeah, I'll go back to California, but I'm not going back down there. Not when I got to hit, like if you had a window, like 3-hour window to hit at that place, I'd go there. But I'm not going there where I got to hit this small ass window and I'm coming in from 70 miles away in California traffic. Just all right. Ran 6 weeks on recaps. Recently got lucky. And my last 2 loads were Chobani out of Twin Falls. I like that place. They're usually good for some good attention too. I love some free money, man. You cannot tempt me more than having me sit for free and make some money. I'm all about that. Dick Dickerson hasn't been to the Northeast in 2 years, and I plan on keeping it that way. Hey, I hear you, bro. Hey, there's certain places I don't mind going in the Northeast. Like, there's that Walmart in Lewiston, Maine. I don't mind going there. I don't mind going to Maine. I don't mind going to like Delaware. If you consider Delaware the Northeast. But it's too much of a headache, too much bullshit. Like, you can't find, and this is what a lot of dispatchers don't realize is it's not just the load, it's not just the receiver, it's not just the money, it's where are you going to go after that? What's going to come out of that? You're paying all these tolls, you're doing all that shit. Is it really worth going up there? I mean, from financially, is it worth going up there? But then you add on those other things to it. A lot of times that just makes it a no-go. Like, why am I going to beat my brains in to go to Jersey City, New Jersey for a load that's not paying no better than any other load, and I got to deal with all the fuckery that goes along with that. The good brother, what are you talking about putting it on the glass? What are you talking about? Please tell me what you're talking about as far as putting it on the glass. Because as far if it's the money, well, fuck. There's really no reason to put. Well, let me know what you're talking about as far as putting it on the glass, because I don't understand. Northeast was gravy when I ran with Prime. Most of Prime freight was in the Northeast 2016 to 2019. I didn't deal with, in 2019, I was in training. Oh, hold on. Oh, I got my other phone here. Hold on. We can put it all on the glass now. Hey, we'll put it on the glass. So here, hold on. I don't think I deleted it because I think I needed it for my taxes. Boom. All right, boom. There's the title. I'm not sure if it's coming in or not. There's the title right there. All right. That's on the glass. So I'm not, okay, anything else? I don't know. But like I said, I don't concern myself with the money per load. When they send me a pre-plan, I do not see the money on that pre-plan. The only time I see the money is when they send like a real dispatch, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not basing loads on money because I think it really does even out in the long term. So I'm not sitting here like nitpicking all that, but there's certain areas I don't like. Certain things I just won't do. Wilmington, California is a no-go. All right, the good brother, and you always talk bad about Super. I don't care about Super Ego. The only reason I ever bring up Super Ego is because people that work at Super Ego potentially come in here and mention Super Ego. One thing I will tell you is I haven't seen no Super Ego driver put no title on the glass. I've not seen that. So if you happen to be one of those Super Ego drivers, put it on the glass. Do a video and put it on the glass. I haven't seen it. What I have seen is a bunch of people running over on their logs and, doing a bunch of crazy shit like that and a bunch of complaining. Go on YouTube and type in Super Ego and tell me you see a bunch of people talking about some success they're doing over there. At least at Prime, you might have a 80-20 split. 80% of the people doing good, 20% of the people crying. Driveline is wrong. Many people have paid off trucks. Wasn't that hard to have? There's a ton of people. Man, I know people in this chat right now that have paid off trucks at Prime. Shamarcus was just in here. I think he might have just paid off one or two. I've paid off two. There's actually a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow out here. I have not once heard of anybody at Super Ego talking about they paid off their truck. I've never seen that. But I've never gone at Super Ego. I've never went out of my way to talk bad about Super Ego. All I've said was I wasn't going to talk shit about Super Ego because I do believe that there's potential harm that could come to you from talking about Super Ego. That's where I'm going to leave that. Title is Photoshop, fake news. No one pays off a truck at Prime. Okay. Shit. Well, let's see if there's another way that I can prove this. At some point, I'm just beating my head up against the... So, listen, there's no reason for me to keep doing this shit. No reason for me to keep trying to prove Like, it's like me trying to prove to dumb motherfuckers that the earth isn't flat. That's kind of what the way I feel here. I feel like I'm actually becoming dumber listening to this comment. So let me just stop. The good brother used to work there. You talking about Super Ego? Did you get a title at Super Ego? I've never just came on here and said anything about Super Ego unless it was something that was sent to me. Because I really don't think about them, to be honest with you. All right, Super Ego got a bad rap for no reason. Well, you know what? If you have drivers out there falsifying logs, no matter if it's for that is warranted. So it could be a great company. You could be making millions of dollars. But if you got drivers out there falsifying logs, that's not a bad rap, unless it's not real. You have to not want to pay off a truck at Prime. It's easy to pay off a truck, just work. It's easy, man. It's 3 years. I mean, unless you do a 4-year contract, which I don't, I wouldn't do a 4-year contract, but 3 years, boom. You suck it up for 3 years, and really all it is a 3-year commitment. Because if you're driving at Prime anyway, if you're a new lease driver at Prime, your payment is actually $100 a month higher truck for truck. So in essence, it almost doesn't make sense to not do a lease purchase unless A, you don't plan on being there that long, or B, there's some people that say they just like driving new trucks all the time. I can understand that. And just getting that lease in completion money. I can understand all that. But that's not what I'm thinking about right now. What I'm thinking about right now is me sitting out here waiting for this damn next load. Now, I'm not no conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but I love all my Trans Am people out there. Just spoke with one the other day out there in Springdale, Ohio. I've literally been seeing more of them guys like at shippers and receivers. No, and I'm not lying. The last 2 places I've gone to, in Delaware at that Walmart out there, and then picking up, and picking up at, it dropped off and picked up in Delaware as well, and dropped off again. Okay, so I dropped off and picked up. So I saw more Trans Am drivers than Prime drivers at the Walmart in Delaware, at the place in Springdale, Ohio, and what was the next place? I didn't see any at this last place I was at. But anyway, I don't necessarily care about that. It's just something I've been noticing. Let me get back to these comments right quick. Willie, I heard that the new Kenworths have a payment of $1,600 just for a regular lease. I don't necessarily like the Kenworths, to be honest with you. I don't know what the payments are, any of that stuff. The interior of them, I mean, is just basic. No, it's at least with the Peterbilt, you got the simulated wood grain interior. You know what I'm saying? You got the navigation. You got some other shit like that. To me, that seems a little. I mean, it seems like all the payments are high. That's the problem I'm dealing with. Is when it's time to kick me off the fleet with the 500,000 mile truck. Am I going to be willing to step up to that 1,500 or whatever it is that time? I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. because, but yeah, 1,600. Woo! I've heard 1,500 for trucks. The guy that I gave the floor mats to yesterday, he said his payment was, I think, 1,300 with the APU. I don't remember if the APU was in addition to that, so it was either 1,300 or 1,400. All right, trucking along with Filipino wife. It's as quick as 18 months if you do a C1 buyout. Yeah, I understand that as well. But in my situation, here's the deal. So let's say I turn in my truck and I do whatever, and then I buy another truck and I pay it off in 18 months. I'm at the end of my shit, right? So it just, I'm not sure if you tried to sell a truck recently, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. And it's just a pain in the ass. Even if all the money's there, it's a pain in the ass. So if I was to be like, okay, my truck's done, let me sell this truck, get another truck paid off in 18 months. Well, fuck, at that point, it's going to be about time for me to get out of the business. So I don't know. Devin Laster, what's up from Tucson? Driveline, I just train again so you can make twice as much on average. Or wait, oh no, he's saying, Lyle, just train again. Man, it's not about the money. Fuck it. If I knew I was just going to make, because listen, Driveline knows if I do $3,000, $3,500, that's going to give me $2,000, $2,500 a week. I'm fine with that. Just let me know that's what the standard is, and then I'll just start relaxing more. But the only issue is when I don't plan on relaxing, I'm ready to go. That's when it becomes the problem. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait. And I'm going to wait and see what happens. On Monday, I'm probably going to make a command decision. I'll be like, all right, I'm just going to deadhead to Denver. And then whether I do that or not, that's at least going to be what I might say. But wait until Monday. I mean, I delivered this load early on Friday. You know what I mean? Like 11 o'clock. No, what day is it today? Saturday. I delivered that shit early on Saturday. So, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really... But somebody's got to train at Prime, and if I was in charge of training, I can guarantee you that I would have more people training at Prime. And I'm not saying I'd be putting people in worse situations or mind melding people or anything like that. There's just certain... Fuck, I'm just a salesman at heart. I just feel like Prime is trying to, what we used to say is telling is not selling. All right, anyway. All right, I have a Kenworth at Prime, no storage, but at least I have a Cummins. I spoke with a mechanic about that, and I'm not sure that the benefits outweigh the cost on them Cummins. I'm not mechanically inclined. I'm just telling you what I heard because I really don't care either way. But fuck, the amount of money you use in fuel alone is going to offset something. Like even if you had some major problems down the line. But like I said, if I had this Peterbilt and it had a Cummins in, I wouldn't really care about it any more or less either way. Jeremy got a 2030. That's sweet. Haha. All right. Driveline. I don't know. It's not about calling their bluff or anything like that because it never really mattered if I had a payment or not had a payment. I don't feel like this is like one of those situations where you're in Ohio and they're like, we don't have any, this isn't that. I do believe that it's kind of fucked right here. And I do believe that where I was at before, They were trying to get me a load out of there without having to go get a trailer and all that kind of stuff. So I do believe that. But now we'll see. But I pretty much kind of make it clear. And a lot of these, weekend people don't know, and I don't expect them to know. I've never turned down a load because of money. I don't even see the money until it's dispatched. But there's just certain shit I'm not going to do. And I stand firm on that. I help out. I was going to do a repower earlier. I do all that. But, sometimes I could be a bit of a prima donna, goddammit. Let me just say that. All right. Willie said, there's no way you could ever get me into sharing my personal space with another man. I do agree with that. And I mean, one thing that I would be saying, and first of all, if I was trying to sell somebody on it, I wouldn't be, I might mention it, but I wouldn't expect my whole sales process to be over the internet in a video. I'd be having, there's enough people that come through the terminal to kind of have that one-on-one conversation. But the first thing is a sense of obligation. That's the first thing I would appeal to people is, somebody had to share their space with you. For the most part. Where am I at? I'm at the Sapp Brothers in York, Pennsylvania. I stopped across the streets at that Petro to get a washout. Now you want to talk about horrible Petros. That place is a horrible Petro. There are so many craters in that. I'd hate to drive. I hate to drive through there at night. There's so many places you could bottom out, tear up your oil pan, all kinds of stuff over there. But I'm at the Sapp Brothers over here. I'm in the nice paved section of it. They got another extension to it that's kind of gravel, but that's where I'm at. 412 placed his entire EGR system at around 300K. All right. But Cummins are known to need a rebuild at 500 to 700,000, depending on how you treat it. Yeah, I'm not no mechanically inclined, none of that. Headed to your favorite Vortex area delivery in Michigan, hoping to get bounced around the Midwest. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I was hoping for when I ended up in basically Cincinnati. .412's at the crib. Friday broke down in the fuel island. My starter just said, fuck me. I was having problems with my starter a while back. And somebody was talking about banging on it with a hammer. That shit actually worked for a little bit. So I did have a chance to get out to this Walmart in Creek, Nebraska. Very truck friendly. But still, when I park at a Walmart, I still feel like I'm rushed when I go in there to buy shit. I don't know why. I just couldn't go in there and just be like, you know what? Let me just wander around. I just felt like I was on the clock. All right, 412. Shit, I found a guy to come do is for $850. That first 2-3 people I called said, all right, so $850 to fix the starter, $850 just to come out and look at it. Yeah. So I don't know. I really don't care if I'm gonna be waiting until Monday. I just like to fucking know. Now, like I said, I did turn down that load, and I'm not going to Wilmington, California, to that, anywhere down there. I didn't even see them. Like I said, I couldn't even see the money. It could have been all the money. But I know that place, and I know that place is a headache. Nice people. Once you get there and you can, you don't have to leave because you're there too early. It's a great place, but trying to hit that on the head, getting there within an hour, driving down there from like Ontario. So it just didn't make sense. And it appears to me that, and I'm not sure, but it seems like all the loads coming out of that Crete, Nebraska Smithfield are going to fucking California. The I the load I got was going to California. The load that the guy got that I gave the floor mats to, his load was going to California. Then another dude that I overheard, he was going to California, but he was from like a different company. Dick Dickerson, can't take the load and drop it in Springfield. I don't know if you're talking about my load or the load I've rejected or what, but I don't know. I'm about to think it's produce season could be a reason. I'm not sure about that or not. I just know this last, let me see the date. Let me be correct when I talk about this shit. All right, so I came out of home time on the 26th of so I came out of home time on February 26th. So say March. Well, February 26th, today is the 30th March. So I've basically been out a little over a month. There's never been a time I've been in Prime. Now, even if I took this load, so even if they were to come to me and say, Lyle, you turned down this load. Well, that load was going to drop on Thursday, so that would have had me at about, just for the week I had now, so far I'm sitting at like $2,500. Not that I look at shit week to week, but if you're looking at it like that, I mean, 25 is less than what I've been doing, but I've got a 34 every single week since I've been out here. Every single week. And that's the first time ever. There were times when I was begging to take some time off. And I'm not talking about when the freight was, I'm not talking about COVID time. I'm talking about within the last year. So I'm not trying to draw any correlation between Trans Am and what's going on lately, but I will have to say that that's when I could say that I've seen it. So I don't know. Like I said, I have no ill will. None of that. I don't care if I run less profit, because I'm making as much or more than I need to make. What I'm saying is, if this is going to be the baseline, then I need to change the way I do things. Because normally what I'm doing, or every driver is doing out here, is trading time for money, right? So if this is going to be the case, then maybe I just put more emphasis on my time than my money. So what I mean is maybe just come out spend less time out, more time at home. I don't know. Oh, all right. Demetrio Sanchez. All right. Here's who I saw at the Petro, or who was on the CB at the Petro after I got my washout. Man, I was going to stay at that Petro, and I looked at the shape that lot was in, and I was like, man, this is just below my standards right here. So I just drove out of that Petro and came across the highway to this Sat Brothers over here. But I ain't got no load, man. I declined to load yesterday for two reasons. Well, multiple reasons, but I was at the Smithfield in Crete, Nebraska, dropped my load. There's no empty trailers. They tried to get me to take a load that was going to pick up on Monday, headed to Wilmington, California, which is a no-go to that place after I've been there before. So I turned that down, and I really haven't heard anything since then. I'm not begging a motherfucker for nothing. I'll sit out here till Tuesday and be quiet. Had I known this before, had I known this would have been the case, I would have just dropped my load and then just deadheaded to Denver. But at this point, it doesn't make sense for me to go drive to Denver. But had I known this, hindsight's a motherfucker, I'd have just drove to Denver. And that's the thing. I don't do any. I mean, they were asking me if I wanted to do a repower yesterday. And this is what I'm trying to say about this telling is not selling thing. I think that if you ask me to do a repower, it's a sensible repower. I didn't even ask about the money and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, the money washes out in the end. But when you're trying to oversell me on some shit, like I've never asked what the load paid. I didn't ask about getting a better load or anything like that. But when you, I don't know, I just felt like I was trying to get sold on something I didn't need to get sold on. So I need to go in there and do some sales training at all levels. Demetrio, that lot is so horrible. If you saw me drive around that lot 2 times, it wasn't because I wanted to drive around 2 times. It was because I was trying to find a path where I wouldn't hit some shit on the way out. And then I was going to stop in there because they normally have some breakfast burritos, and I got 3 ultra credits I need to burn. And they didn't have those breakfast burritos, so I was like, I'll try later. And those dried ass pork chops weren't looking too good, so I just, decided to just bounce out on that one. $412, that York Petro has to be the top 3 worst Petros. It's definitely one of the worst 3 in terms of the parking goes. That place right there is one of those places where you can end up really getting trapped in there because trucks just park in crazy different ways out there. There's no lines in certain places, so trucks are people aren't backed up far enough in certain places. It's a mess. But what I will say about that Petro is they usually have some banging ass breakfast burritos over there. And with $17.50 of ultra credits, that's 2 of those burritos. So that's the main reason I was gonna stop over there. Hey, Demetrio, do you have a load, or what's your situation? Are you on a load, waiting for a load? What's going on? All right, that's pretty much what I'm basing it on. Last time I was there, motherfuckers was parked anywhere where spots got craters in it. Last time it smelled like a slaughterhouse. I was like, what the fuck? Man, that place there, they actually have barrels or cones or something in front of some of these potholes. Those are just the real potholes, the ones that are maybe 3 feet wide and 2 feet deep. There's other shit out there that's not coned off. Like, I'd hate to drive through there at night, but they got like potholes that might be like a foot and a half deep, maybe 2 feet wide, that don't have no cones around them. It's just a shitty place, especially when you got this Sap. I've never been here before. This Sap Brothers is like super nice. The Walmart across the street looks like it's trucker friendly. I see trucks parked over there, like not parked. They're chilling. Myth Leather Company, what's up? Yeah, them potholes will definitely put you in another dimension. I am about ready for some bourbon, and I can't wait to get home to get into some of that. One thing I will do is I'll go back to one of my old things I used to get on when I go back home. I'm actually not your regular gins like Bombay and Beefeater, but there's some high, because I've never really got into higher end gin, but they do have some high end gin that's got some botanicals, shit like that in it. I'm probably, because I'm a martini guy too, I'm probably gonna get back and hit some of those high end gins as well. So it won't just be bourbon when I go back home next time. 412, you will definitely break your ankle at that place. As a matter of fact, I fucked up my knee getting out of a place that was way better than that over there, and it's still lingering around. And I can't say that's just because of that. It could be just old age too, but yeah, stepping out of a place into one of those little ridges that's by your door. All right, Demetrio's doing hopper. I have a load from Fremont, Nebraska to unload Monday morning to drop in Omaha. Well, that's good. I'm just sitting here not knowing what my next plan is. I'm just out here hanging around, just, But what I'll probably do is hang out here till about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I'm just going to tell them, you know what? Don't even worry about a load. Make me available like Monday at noon, and then I'll just deal with it like on Monday morning. I'm just this being in limbo shit. I just don't like. All right, but that's about it, man. I'm just in limbo, man. Place nobody wants to be. Can't plan shit. All right, Myth Leather Company, is freight picking up? It's hard to say. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if Prime freight is picking up. Because I mentioned earlier, I've seen more Trans Am drivers at the last 3 places I've been than Prime trailer or trucks. As a matter of fact, man, I feel like an asshole. I'm going to tell this story. I feel like a dick. Like I said, I don't care about Trans Am calling our freight, none of that stuff. It's just an observation I'm making. But I'm picking up down in, well, shit, let's be specific. I'm picking up down in Millsboro, Delaware. Anybody's been there? It's not the worst place to pick up. It's definitely not the best place to pick up, but it's like farmland foods. It's like chicken or some shit, right? So I'd met this guy earlier in the day. Didn't meet him, but he was pulling out of this Walmart I was in. I was about to back into a dock. He was kind of sitting in front of where I was going to need the space he was at, because I was going to make a U-turn in front of the dock and then just back in like the U-turn, right? So he's like, you need me to move, all this kind of stuff. So he's like, moves, and then I go on with my day. Later on that night, we go pick up a load. We're at the same place. We're both checking out at the same time. There's a line of trucks behind us. He can't get his tandems slid, and there's a pin that's not going into the hole. And he was asking me if I knew anything about it, all this kind of stuff. And there were so many people behind us putting pressure on me. And I think I might have been working on my 14-hour clock at the time. For me to explain it to him, I just felt like, and he was checking out at the same time. I feel bad for not like taking, like, just holding up everybody for like 3 minutes and helping them out with that situation. But I was trying to get out of there, and every time I do some shit like that, it fucking haunts me. I hate like not helping people out when I feel like I know the answer, but it's just not that convenient for me at the time. So this happened a few days ago, and I still feel bad about that. So I don't know. Anyway, I've been seeing a lot of Trans Am drivers. I definitely saw them in Springdale, Ohio. But I haven't had a chance to really bullshit with one of them. I wanted to have the time to, actually talk with one of these guys. How you guys like Trans Am? All that kind of stuff. But I haven't been able to have that kind of conversation yet. So I would have been going home anyway about now, but I got to be home next month. So I decided to stay out a little bit longer. So normally if I was in this situation, I'd just be like, all right, I'll just deadhead home. Do you want me to drop this trailer to where I'm at, or do you want me to take it to Denver yard? What do you want me to do? So anyway, that's all that's going on, man. Just out here chilling. Hopefully when I turn down that load, I'm not, I went to the back of the line, whatever you want to say. I don't know, but hopefully I'll know something. Like, the motherfucker could pick up on Wednesday. I just want to know when it's supposed to pick up. And I certainly don't want to go right back to where I left now that I got a trailer and deadheaded to get it washed. And, that'd be 100 miles. added right there when I could have just, I mean, I wasn't going to stay at no Smithfield for 34 hours plus. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm about to get off here. I do appreciate you guys stopping by. No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. I guess I'll let you know what's going on when I know what's going on. But I'm out of here.